Over the last 5 years, I have tested over 50 different pairs of golf shoes. Today, I'm gonna give you my picks for what I think are the best spiked golf shoes that are currently available. So if you're looking for the absolute best when it comes to traction, stability, and everything a spiked golf shoe brings to the table, keep watching. Today's video is for you. Okay, first up, 2 honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1. The FootJoy DryJoy Premier. These are one of the most iconic golf shoes in the entire world. I know so many people that swear by them. They are the only golf shoes that they wear, but they only get honorable mentions simply because I haven't personally used them. That's pretty weird considering I've tested so many shoes from so many different brands, including FootJoy, but I feel like that is such an important and such a popular shoe that I kind of had to put it on this list even if I haven't tested it. So take that for what it's worth, because I know I would receive comments if I didn't include it, but there you go. Second honorable mention goes to another shoe that many people love that I personally don't totally love, but I know so many people that I golf with on a regular basis that swear by this shoe that I again wanted to mention it, and that is the Adidas Tour 360. This is Adidas' flagship tour level shoe. It is definitely one of the most stable golf shoes out there. The traction on it is excellent. My knock on it is I just don't find it particularly comfortable. It's not like the most uncomfortable shoe I have ever worn, but the 5 shoes I'm about to mention offer similar performance, but I just think are more comfortable. So take that into consideration when you're considering which spikeless shoes are best for you, but I just want to recognize, like, I'm just one person. I can only test so many shoes. I've got my preferences, the things that I like the most, and I recognize that that's going to be different than what you might like. So take all of this with a grain of salt. What is great for me might not be great for you. What you love, I might not hate, and vice versa. But those are 2 that I know so many people like that I feel like if I'm doing this video, I had to at least mention them. And real quick, before we jump into my picks, you know this. If you click the links, if you buy the product, I'm gonna get a commission. Totally understand. If you think that makes me biased, go do your own research. Everyone's gonna have different opinions. These are just mine. And my whole goal here is just to help you find the products that are right for you. One of the interesting things about me is I've actually personally tested every single one of these shoes. If you get some of the bigger organizations, the bigger review channels, they've got a whole team of people. So they're not comparing them back to back. So I've got the benefit of I've personally worn all of these and I can compare and contrast them. Obviously, the downside is that I have my preferences like we talked about. So if those don't match up with yours, then it may not be the best fit, but these are the shoes I like the most. Make sure you watch the end where I will give you my pick for my all-time favorite spiked golf shoe. And with that, let's stop wasting time. Let's jump right into it. All right, number 5 on my list, we are counting down here. We're also gonna call this the most comfortable tour level shoe, and that is the FootJoy Hyperflex. I personally have never always been much of a FootJoy guy. I thought the FootJoy Flex back in the day was a pretty solid spikeless shoe, but I've had some bad experiences with some of their other models. It's not the case with the Hyperflex 2025. For me personally, this is the best FootJoy shoe I have ever worn. It is incredibly comfortable. It's waterproof. It is super stable. The looks, you may love it, you may hate it. I personally don't love the look of a lot of FootJoy shoes, but I do think these ones look pretty good and they perform even better. So obviously FootJoy is one of the incumbents. They're one of the biggest golf shoe companies in the world, and some people won't consider any other brand. And if that is you, I think the Hyperflex is an excellent model to consider. And if that is not you, it's still an excellent model to consider. At number 4, we're calling this the best looking spiked shoe. I love this shoe. It is the G4 Gallivanter G Lock. I think the Gallivanter is one of, if not the best looking shoes in golf. It takes that classic traditional leather aesthetic, but then it marries it with more modern features, more modern colorways. I just think this is such a good looking shoe. And it's also, while it's not the most comfortable on this list, it is a very comfortable golf shoe. When I'm wearing these, I just look down at my feet. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a golfer. I feel good. They are confidence-inducing golf shoes. And if you are looking for a more traditional aesthetic while still having some modern flair, I think these are the absolute best shoes you can buy. You can also use the coupon code G4 Breaking 8010. It's gonna save you 10% on anything that G4 sells, so I will link to that below. Number 3, and we're calling this the best athletic spiked shoe, and that is the Nike Infinity Tour Next Percent 2. That is quite the name. But you might have saw my video a few months ago where I basically proclaimed Nike Golf is back. For years, despite being like a Nike fanboy at heart, I grew up in Eugene, Oregon, the birthplace of Nike. For the last 5, 6, 7 years, they just haven't really done much for me. Haven't been excited about it. Well, that changed with these Infinity Tours. I think they look good, they feel good. If you want the Tour Spike equivalent of a running shoe, both in looks and comfort, I think this is the best model out there. It does feel like more of an athletic shoe than a straight up Tour golf shoe. But there's just so much that Nike does that they build into their shoes with the tech that they can only do because they are such a big brand. Nike's also got some other great models right now. The Scottie Scheffler shoe, the Victory Pro 4. There's the Victory Tour, that's Rory's shoe. Those are all excellent. But personally, the ones that I like the most are the Infinity Tours. I think they're the most comfortable. I like the way they look the best. So I'm a fan. So Nike, well done. I'm excited to see what you do in the future. Okay, number 2, and we're calling this the trendiest golf shoe, and that is the Painter 87SC. So for the first few years of Painter's existence, they were just building technical golf shoes. They had the nitrogen-infused footbed, they had the carbon fiber plate, they had all of this tech that was built into the shoes, and the whole point of it was to actually give you performance improvements on the golf course. A lot of these shoes looked pretty similar. They basically took the mindset of like, okay, we're gonna make some subtly different shoes, we're gonna keep the look kind of the same, so we're not reinventing the wheel in terms of styling, but we're gonna make them as functional as we can. Well then, last year, they came out with the 87SC. They did this in partnership with Jason Day, that's where the name came from. He was born in 1987, and they created not only a technical and high-performing shoe, but they created one that looks awesome. I think it is one of the best looking golf shoes out there. They've now released a spikeless version of this as well, and among the golf cool kids, you will see a lot of people that are wearing Painter right now. So I think of all the Painter shoes out there, the 87SC for me is the one that looks the best. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the absolute best in terms of performance. That I might give to the new X Tour Proto. This is the shoe that Justin Rose was wearing when he won the FedEx St. Jude Championships earlier this year, but the thing that's interesting about that is he's not sponsored. He could wear any golf shoe he wanted, and he chose to wear the Painter Protos. So that should tell you something about the performance and how good these shoes are. I think the Protos might be just slightly better in performance, but the 87SC still have the performance, but they also look significantly better. So for my money, I'm taking the 87SCs, but if you want the best in performance and you like the look of the Protos, then those are absolutely phenomenal golf shoes and are also worth considering. If you do decide a pair of Painters is right for you, you can use the coupon code BREAKING80 with the 80 all spelt out. It's gonna save you 10% and make either of those shoes a little bit more palatable. And finally, we have my overall favorite spiked golf shoe, and that is the G4 MG4 Plus O2 G-Lock. That is a ridiculous name, but this is the pair of golf shoes I reach for most often when I'm going to wear a pair of spike shoes. So typically, I'm more of a spikeless guy, a little bit more casual, so I've been wearing a lot of different spikeless models, but these are the ones that still make it into my rotation on a regular basis. I almost always, when I'm taking golf trips, I will almost always have a spikeless pair and a spiked pair. These are typically the spiked pair that I am bringing because they just kind of do everything. I think they look really good. It's not gonna be to everybody's taste, but personally, I really like the way they look. Very waterproof, very comfortable. They have the nubbed massaging insoles, which is what G4 is famous for. If you've never experienced them, might seem weird at first, but once you do, you're like, oh, this is amazing. Feels like my feet are getting little massages every time I take a step. It's great. And the traction and stability are also excellent. It's not gonna be quite as stable as some of the most stable shoes out there, like the Adidas 360 is one that I think is gonna be a little bit more stable than this, but traction is excellent. I played in wet weather, had absolutely no issues. So when you factor in looks, traction, comfort, all of the above, it's the one that hits for me. It's the one that I like. And so that's the spikeless shoe that I'm reaching for on the most regular basis. For me personally, I'm usually going back and forth between the 87SCs and these. I still wear all the other ones I have mentioned from time to time, but Painter and G4, that's where I tend to personally live when it comes to spiked golf shoes. So all that to say, those are my picks, but I want to hear from you. What are your favorite spiked golf shoes? What are you wearing? What did I miss? What have I not included on this list that you think I should have included in this list? If you also don't necessarily care about spiked versus spikeless, you just want to know what the most comfortable golf shoes are, well, don't worry, I got you covered. I got a video for that right here. And if you want to see the written version of what I think are just all the best golf shoes that are currently available, I update this on a regular basis. I will link to that below as well. Thank you so much for watching. Go subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for making it this far. I hope you have an excellent day. See you on the next video. Peace.